Hey guys, Rick with Diesel and Iron here. We're up here today at Southeastern Equipment reviewing a SK210 Kobelco.
Kobelco machines, and by the way, I'm Brian if you don't know me. Kobelco machines, some of my favorite machines in the industry. Like Rick said, Southeastern was gracious enough to have us up to just take some time in the machine. This is a yard review. We haven't had a chance to get it on a job site yet, but we did want to give you guys a quick rundown of the machine, so let's go. All right guys, starting at the compartment right behind the cab here. This is traditionally where you find the pattern switcher valve, and it is here. It's right here at ground level. You cannot miss it. Unlike a lot of other manufacturers where it's kind of tucked in or it's not really clear what the valve is, they got a nice fat handle on this one, so it's really easy to figure out where your pattern switcher is. We've got the air filter. It's very easy to get to at ground level. And then moving back into your cooling stack compartment, first of all, you do have a really nice cooling stack here that's going to be very easy to clean out. We've also got our overflow bottle for our coolant. That's easy to access from ground level. We have our batteries, and then one of the things, this was similar on the SK130, they actually have created a little box to protect your master disconnect. And when this box is closed, you can't mess with this. So just a nice little feature, a nice little add-on so that you protect that from accidentally getting turned on or off. If you have a new operator that doesn't really know what he's doing, you tell him to go back for the pattern switcher, he accidentally turns off the master disconnect, you're not gonna have any issues with that. They've got a protector right over top of it. So you have to be intentional if you wanna shut off the master.
Hey guys, jumping to the rear here on the counterweight. These lights right here actually do flash. It does come standard with the Kobelco, so when you're running pipe crew, digging a basement, you got guys on the ground, they don't flash when you're sitting there tracking back and forth. When you are swinging or digging, these things are going off, which is a great feature to have. You got your side camera, you got your rear camera. Great features just to see in the cab in your blind spots. All right, jumping over to the right rear compartment, guys. Can't stress this enough. I love how wide open this is. Being a mechanic or an operator, it's easy to find, easy access. We got the hydraulic filter right up in here. We got the fuel filter up top. We got the water separator filter right here. Easy just to crack that valve and drain the water right out. The only thing I kind of don't like about it a little bit is the sight glass. It's not the same as the other SK130. You got to actually look for it. It's tucked back in here a little bit. So it's not standard just like the other one is. So I'd like to see it about the same machine to machine. Kobelco's done a great job with this hydraulic pickup line. It's off the bottom of the belly pan. A lot of machines used to be rubbing down below. They got it about a foot off now, so if debris or rock comes over the track, or if you're doing some demolition and you do dent this under belly pan, you're not shut down. It could take a little bit of abuse before really you got some issues. What I do like about this, you guys haven't noticed this little triangle right here. This is standard equipment. It's just a nice side guard, so if you swing into a tree or concrete, you're not actually damaging the equipment, which is just a great add-on. Up top, guys, if you haven't noticed, we have the other side camera.
All right, moving up onto the machine, guys. We've got a decent sized step. It's not quite as big as it was on the SK130 that we had previously reviewed, but you still have a decent step here for getting to your grease block and everything. One thing I really like about this 210 is the storage compartment. I mean, you open this thing up and you've got a phenomenal amount of room here to store all sorts of good stuff. It is a big, big old compartment. And then you also have your DEF fill for your DEF tank. So that's located there. Now, if we move up onto the top of the machine, really like the work platform here. Instead of being up on top of the excavator like you normally see on a machine of this size, instead you've actually got this nice platform here. And part of what makes that possible, if you haven't noticed yet, there's no fuel tank here. The fuel tank is actually on the opposite side behind the cab on this machine. And we're kind of torn. Rick and I both discussed this. We're a little bit torn. It's nice because you've got phenomenal visibility out of the side of your cab because there's not a big fuel tank here. It does give you a nice big work area that you can get up here and you can move around with multiple people if you've got a mechanic with you working on a machine. The one downside is now I've got to have a longer fuel hose to extend over the machine, or I've got to stand on my opposite side track and actually reach up onto the fuel tank. So advantages, disadvantages. At this point in time, without taking it on a job and actually using it, I would say overall you're probably a hair more on the advantage side, but it is what it is. Hydraulic tank still located in the same area. Then we get to the engine compartment. pretty similar to the 130. My one kind of little complaint here is that this is a little heavier than I would like without any sort of hydraulic assist. And then you've also got that kind of flimsy rod. And again, I could just see someone, you know, absent-mindedly reaching up and grabbing this to pull down to kind of assist themselves to stand up, and then you fold it over your pin there to latch it up. Once you have the engine compartment open, you have a decent amount of space. It is a little tight just because you have guards over the turbo like you do see on other manufacturers to keep you away from that hot space. You do have a guard over your emissions package. And by the way, this is the new Yanmar engine. If you didn't know, Kobelco has actually retooled their line and they are now using Yanmar engines. And this is one of those units. It is equipped with, unfortunately, I hate to say it, it's got a DPF, ladies and gentlemen. On top of the SCR, we do have a DPF. You are going to deal with the DPF issues. It is what it is. It's a necessary evil in the industry, unfortunately. So other than that, though, we've got really great access up here to your radiator, to the top end of the engine. You've got pretty good access. It's not going to be the easiest machine to work on, but by far, this is not the worst machine I've seen to get down and do some wrenching on. All right, moving up to the boom. This is one of the nice features of the new Kobelcos that are coming out, and a lot of manufacturers have started to do this, but it always excites me when you get it from the factory. These machines are starting to come pre-drilled and pre-configured for machine control, and it's not you're stuck in a box where you have to go with one specific machine control manufacturer. They are making this to where you can use whatever machine control you want on the machine. It's already got all the plugs for it. All you got to do is mount up the equipment and boom, you're ready to rock. So that's a really, really nice feature with the new Kobelco machines. All right, guys, we're going to finish out in the cab of this machine, and I cannot stress enough how much I like the design of the new Kobelco cabs. This is one of my chief complaints with Kobelco in the past, was that they make a heck of a machine when it comes to speed and power and everything else, but their cabs, just compared to Caterpillar, compared to Case, didn't quite have that nice, comfortable Cadillac feel. That is totally different with the new Kobelco series. They have the new huge screen here with all of your functions. You've got an entirely new user interface. This knob here, you can actually, it is a push button. You can twist it like a knob, but then you have the third dimension of being able to move it around like a joystick. So you have a lot of flexibility in how you navigate through your menu system. That's really nice. Moving back, you've got an entirely redesigned HVAC control system. It's really nice. Well, let's be honest, it looks like the rest of the machines that are coming out now, where you've got that kind of space age futuristic look that we as operators all love. So that's really nice. We do have Bluetooth integrated into the machine, although you do have a port down here where you can do USB or a traditional headphone jack line in, so you've got flexibility there. And as we've mentioned multiple times, the phone holder on this is it's such a small thing, yet it is so nice as an operator not to have your phone flopping all over the cab. The cab itself, very spacious. You've got a ton of room. You could easily fit a huge big lunchbox behind the seat here with no issue whatsoever. One thing it's a nice standard feature, but at the same time I wish it had been implemented a little bit differently, is the FOPS. So one thing I've always loved about Kobelco is the FOPS system does come as standard equipment. The downside to that is the way that it's implemented. The FOPS actually swings up towards the boom, which allows you to clean this window, but unfortunately, because of the way it swings out of the way, it does not allow this window to open. So it's not like a traditional excavator where you can pop that window open and have a little bit of a sunroof open to catch a breeze. Unfortunately, this window is stationary. You do have the shade that will pull over it, but you cannot open this window. So that's one downside that we have for the cab here, but overall, I cannot stress enough how much I like this new cab design. Well, a big thank you again to Southeastern Equipment for having us up to do this yard review, and I do want to stress again, this was a yard review. We have not had a chance to really take this machine out in real working conditions yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the future we're going to get to do that, but overall, Rick, what do you think?
I'm a fan of the machine. It's lightning fast, just like I said before. Digging through the clay, digging deep. I mean, this thing is lightning quick, guys. It's got the power up button feature. It rips right through it. The visibility overall, it's a well-balanced machine. I can't say enough.
Absolutely. Anytime you guys have heard me talk about Kobelco on this channel, I always have high praise. I've always been a fan of Kobelco equipment. It's fast, it's smooth, it's got a ton of power, it's got features that other competing machines don't really have to offer. So overall, absolutely great machine. I'd highly recommend you guys check it out at your local dealership. If you are in the Michigan, Ohio, possibly Indiana area, head over to Southeastern Equipment. They would absolutely be able to assist you with that.